Welcome back, everyone, to our final championship match here at the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin, joined by the original Hershey Kiss. You know him as Don Hutch Hutchinson. Hutch, it's been a fantastic 3 days of action here in Reading, Pennsylvania. A huge thank you to the Emke family here at the beautiful Emke household, Emke Tennis Stadium, playing the host for the majority of our matches. And it's come down to two players from Group 1. Now, this was a match that was abandoned in yesterday's group play stage, but Ernests Gulbis, it's been nearly flawless in his 3 victories thus far, has yet to drop a set. He takes on Mukund Sasikumar. Sasikumar, 2 3-set victories, one over Roy Smith here in our past semifinal. To get to the final stage, of course, Mukund was also your doubles champion back on Monday. All of this, Hutch, should lead to a fantastic final match here.
Should be a fantastic final. You're right. It's contrasting styles again. We have a power player versus a kind of an all-court player. Not that Gulbis isn't an all-court player. Sasikumar, he's very smooth around the court, very smooth. Gulbis is just battering the ball and crushing the ball and causing error after error, winner after winner. And Sasikumar kind of works the point a little bit more. Should be really interesting. Let me tell you, if Ernests Gulbis keeps serving the way he's serving, Sasikumar is going to have a difficult time in this match.
No doubt about that, and that's the real fun. Again, is just this opportunity, the contrast of styles, the fact that Gulbis will be providing the pace for Sasikumar. How does he handle that pace? Is he able to do enough dictating? He wasn't at the start of the first set against Roy Smith, but found his rhythm eventually. Again, overall, as we get a smile from Gulbis as he approaches us here on the back fence, should be a super, super exciting match. And for the final time, Hutch, you get to hear me say my 4 favorite words. Folks, let's play some tennis.
There we go.
Wow. Let me just say, if that's the start, if this is the Ernests Gulbis we are going to get,
incredible return.
Yeah, it's just quick hands there. And this is what I'm saying, why I don't think the forehand returns as glaring of a weakness as you might think.
Guys, the match started.
Gulbis just asking if we can quiet down just a little bit here in the back as this match gets underway.
Too good.
Oh.
Wow.
Ernest told me to smack talk him before the match started. I don't know what I can say. That's 2 really good forehands, my friend.
Yeah, just average on that forehand. What do you think?
It's pretty solid. I missed the hand, but it'll work again. That's why I think actually jamming him with pace on the forehand side, not as glaring of a weakness. He scrapes off a bug here on center court, but when he knows it's coming to the forehand, it's almost a reactionary thing. It's not as wound up as perhaps when he has more time to sit on it.
Yeah, Sasikumar not going after the backhand. Gonna test that, and let me tell you, that wing is strong.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, Sasikumar is pretty much going to work over that forehand.
No doubt about that.
Even though Gulbis started out with 2 bombs off that forehand side. Nice serve there. Up to the parking lot.
Didn't want to catch it out of the air still because it's an EXO. Maybe it would have just been like, hey, Ernest, you get it, right? I once caught a ball out of the air at a club tennis match, and the guy called me on and goes, I'm not going to take the point. You can't do that. And I was like, my man, damn straight you're not going to take the point. Are you kidding me? You want to go track that ball down over the fence?
Right. Yeah, working on the forehand. Almost working out to Sasikumar's detriment. That was a tough ball to take up the line just to work on a forehand. Probably should have taken that cross court. Break point right off the bat here for Gulbis. A little deep on the serve, looks like.
Ouch.
Yeah, Gulbis would like that one back.
He hits the forehand with the frosty, hits his thigh there. Maybe it goes in. You liked that joke, didn't you? No. Ball girl says no.
No.
My toughest critic.
Yeah, she is
He
tough.
always got one.
Back to deuce.
That's just money.
Good serve.
And that's the Mukund Sasikumar. That's the sneakiness.
They're coming from behind again on this game. He came from behind the last match. He's showing some guts over there.
No doubt about that.
Big serve.
All right. So Sasikumar escapes. A couple of big aces. He'll take a 1-love lead here in our opening game. Again, there was a little bit of confusion on the format. We now have it clarified. We're sticking with the fast 4 hutch. There is a, what's it called? A cell. Healthy cloud cell. Headed this way. Rain inevitable. Feels like around that 2:30 range. We're going to try and get this match in before that rainstorm hits. But of course, if it does, we've got our Vaptor team on hand, ready to dry off these courts instantaneously if we get a layup there. But man, yeah, no, I mean, again, overall to get to play outdoors, play here at ETS MT Tennis Stadium Hutch, it's been a fantastic 3 days of action.
It's been wonderful for 3 days, and we've actually been a little bit lucky to get out here as much as we have.
Yeah.
The Vaptors helped us a load. This morning they helped us probably by 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was incredible. You feel that breeze kind of kicking up, and all that means is that something's blowing in here. Gulbis also working over the Sasikumar forehand. Double fault. Little opening here for Sasikumar.
Worth noting, you and I were privy to a practice set between these two players, Gulbis, Sasikumar. Sasikumar gave him the business in that one. I believe it was a 6-1 decision.
He did, you're right.
And of course, practice Gulbis is far from match Gulbis, but he handled the piece well. He seemed to get a really good read on that return of serve also. By the way, our chair here today, Russ Morgan.
Huge.
About 90 degrees outside right now. Humidity over 90%. It's just building. Hell hath no fury like the rainstorm that's coming. I promise you that in advance, Hutch. It's going to ask me to wash away all my sins. Probably the camera with it.
And she liked that.
Yeah. 3.5 stars.
Oh boy.
No, see again, I think it's when he's got time to sit on that forehand Hutch that he thinks about it.
Yeah, he just totally overhit that, blew it out the back. Give Sasikumar credit for getting a lot of returns back here and putting some pressure on Gulbis early. A couple of break points coming for Mukund Sasikumar. Now going to be training out of Vienna. Coach Mark. A little wide.
Yeah. Oh,
wow. Going for it.
no, and I do like, and you see Martin kind of saying, just relax, to his player those opportunities are going to arrive. Just be patient. But the one thing I do like, and we talked about this in that last semifinal match, Mukund, a flatter backhand, more absorb and redirect than anything else. But
yeah, both the backhands out here are
yeah,
really nice
I
weapons.
kind of like that he's going to be able to absorb everything Gulbis throws at him in this match. I don't hate, normally you say double check mark to Gulbis in that head-to-head match. I think Mukund's going to be able to hold his own.
Yeah, well, that's both their strengths. Gulbis here got a tough second serve. Not too good. Wow.
There it is.
Yeah. Cranked up that extra power he's got.
I don't like this feeling, Hutch. Wind picking up a little bit.
Yeah, the wind is blowing something in, there's no doubt.
Yeah, slightly cooling down.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to hang in here.
We're going to play, there's fast 4, and then there's the sprinter 4.
Really
We're
fast.
play sprinter 4. No changeovers, no rest, one consecutive point.
Gulbis on the top of the net for a lot of first serves here in this first service game. Deep.
Yep.
Yep.
And now you see a little bit of a gesture. I'm not calling out coaching. Don't worry. No coaching violations here between Martin.
And actually, I'll be okay if a coach. I guess coach you did
I
something.
didn't say we're cool with it. I'd prefer if it was you, but they were just turning to you and they're like, Hutch, any advice?
Yeah, they really turned to me.
But I think Martin's just telling him, just slow down a little bit. Of course, Gulbis had a big lead in Mukund's opening service game. Gulbis now fights off a couple of early break points. Has himself the advantage here in our Love 1 game.
Teddy Snyder picking up the ball at the net, doing a good job. Uh-oh. Gulbis doing a little bending over. Hope he didn't hurt himself someplace. Doing a little stretching. Back to deuce. Gulbis is feeling a little pressure here. Talking?
Honestly, as we learned yesterday, Mukund might be like, just take another first. I really don't mind.
Oh, that one looked wide.
Yep, that's textbook.
Yeah.
And what do we say here? Ball don't lie. It's clean stuff from Ernests. Gulbis sets up, I'd say, the +1/+1 backhand. Really like that forehand cross court, though, from him there.
Another sweet shot. I thought that that forehand cross court by Sasikumar might have been out, but we're only about 100 feet away from that one.
Yeah.
At a bad angle.
Yeah.
So, what do I know?
Exactly.
Anyway, Gulbis serving here for his first game in the finals. Still having problems with that first serve.
It's definitely been a little bit tricky for him.
A knuckleball return, and that wasn't hit well either.
There was not an ounce of topspin on that backhand from Mukund Sasikumar. Nevertheless, Gulbis will take it. And again, both guys, breakpoint chances in the opening return games. Oh no. I just saw a drip that might have been off of the tent.
Yeah, please. Well, pocket of water here.
Well, that's. Oh.
Oh, that's a nice return on a tough serve. Ooh.
15 love there.
Sasikumar looking for a first serve. Whew. Missed that one by about 4 or 5 feet. It's going to make the second serve a little tougher. Was probably looking to attack here. Absolutely.
Apologies that I stepped away there for a moment. Had to go say goodbye to the lovely Smith family as they're heading out. Mrs. Smith, so nice.
Yeah, she's sweet.
Yeah, so kind. Roy's not too bad either. 30 love here for Sasikumar. Do you think in his head he's 1-0 in his lifetime against Gulbis after winning that practice? And he's like, I can do this.
Absolutely. He's got bragging rights already.
For sure. Transitive property, everything too. So I beat him in a rally in ping pong. Therefore, he wins, I win. Yeah, okay. I thought they were going to call that one. And I was going to be like, all right, let's relax here.
Oh, wow, good serve.
Into the body of Gulbis.
Yeah, just too good.
Forehand hip pocket in particular now. 40 love, 3 game point chances for Mukund Sasikumar here. Keep us on serve. Take a 2-1 lead here in the first set.
And the sun has come out and it is hot.
Oh, man.
It is out for a little bit because it's pretty cloudy.
That is a good service game from Mukund Sasikumar. Keeps pace here. Smile on his face. 2-1 lead now in set number 1. Alex Gruskin joined by, again, the original Hershey Kiss, Don Hutchinson here on day number 3, the final day, final match of this Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Of course, again, takes a whole community to put on an event like this, and as much credit as I give to Hutch, you have to give a shout out to the entire team here, whether it's Ryan, Dave, Ariel, Leonard, or Stringer, the Mkeek family, parents, siblings. Ball kids have been okay. Yeah.
Don't make him cry.
Yeah, no, I just got to look there as our ball kids. Hey, no. Be careful. Match. It's okay. It'll dry quickly. Because we have a little conflict on our hands between our ball kids. This might be the match to watch.
It could be.
By the way, but of course, again, more broadly, a huge thank you.
It almost looks like a brother and sister setup.
They definitely know each other well. Of course, our ball kids have been phenomenal. So grateful for all of our volunteers here, and again, for them to get to see this tennis up close, what it means moving forward, just to get to see it, you feel it. You feel like, okay, maybe, just maybe, I could do this someday. Or, wow, I'm a long way off from where that is. Time for me to step up my game. Speaking of stepping up his game, that's been Ernests Gulbis here on day 2 and 3. Hasn't dropped the set yet. You know, he's looking forward to getting to New York, competing at the Grand Slam stage. He's going to get through Mukund Sasikumar first. 1-2 for set.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, Sasikumar didn't even move on that one. Miss on there.
I like the look at the +1 backhand.
Yes, sir, +1.
Exactly. Gulbis, little glare.
Yeah, nice little glare. 15 all here.
Mhm. Nope. That's a footwork thing.
Yeah, and he's
Grabbing at his knee a little bit as well.
misfired on a couple of ground strokes here in the last 15 minutes.
Yes.
Wow.
It's 3 uncharacteristic backhand errors there from Gulbis, and of course in the fast 4 format. Sets played to 4, tiebreaker 3 all. 1 break of serve can prove so critical. 2 more break points now for Sasikumar. Yeah, that's better.
Wow. Yep. Right back on top of that.
3 consecutive backhand errors, then he does that. Not too bad, Ernest.
Yeah, great
Not too
footwork.
bad.
Set up really well for that one.
Beautiful contact point. It's now 30-40. He's fought off all of the break points he's faced thus far. And he has faced a couple. I believe we're now at 4. That's cheeky stuff.
Great.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Yeah, great court awareness there. Back Sasikumar up on that, just threw out that little dropper.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah.
And again, no blink, no tentativeness.
No.
Just going down swinging.
They're ripped after a couple of those ground strokes. Back to deuce. That was good.
And it's so hot and humid here outside today. Gold was pointing out it's really hard to hit through the court with these balls. Can't disagree with him. You pointed it out in the first match. He's just seeing now what you saw from the beginning, Hutch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of humidity in the air, and the balls fluff up and grab that humidity, and they slow down a little bit.
I'm adding that to your intro. Sees things quicker than Ernests Gulbis.
Oh, wow. Wow.
This guy. Pretty forehand from Gulbis. Fights off another break point. Has just had answers to every question he's been asked.
Yeah, went for it. Set up nicely. Hit his shot. Great shot.
Also love, it's like a model. Just his hands up, he's posing. Stop the cameras. The hand is up. Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh. Just a little wide.
Wide, not deep there, yeah.
Got a knuckleball in that return.
If you give him time on that forehand, much like the weight of all of his shots, he's going to do damage.
Yeah, that one just sat right in the middle of the court. It's going to miss-hit knuckleball in the return.
Yeah, that's
And
good
Gulbis
stuff.
put that sucker away. I've got that return.
Yeah, we could have done that.
That's right. Here we go. Game point for Gulbis. Hasn't had one in this game.
Yeah, indeed. So a circuitous route to this 2-all, but nevertheless 2-all it is. Ernests Gulbis able to hold here. First set of our final of this Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin, Hutch on the call. Some good +1 tennis there. From Gulbis get himself out of that.
Under pressure.
Under pressure.
I mean, a lot of pressure shots Gulbis had. A couple of pressure second serves. Pulled through pretty nicely. Feel pretty good about himself after that one.
The contact point, the balance.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be clicking right now. That's
some big time shots.
No, the thing I've enjoyed most about this in-person experience is just the weight of shot to get to see it in person.
Yeah, you don't appreciate it unless you're down on the court or close to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people should come out and watch these matches in person. You don't get that feeling on television.
No, not at all. I mean, I should have said working with you is 1A. Weight of shots 1B.
Oh. I guess I'll keep you here for a while.
Exactly. It's a good serve, though, from Sasikumar. He responds to that early game pressure, 15 all down the team. It does feel, Hutch, we talked a lot about Gulbis. Feels like it's been on his terms. Sasikumar does have 2 holds to his name, has put some pressure on Ernests, but it does feel like right now, Ernests misses, fine. He loses the point. But when he connects, he's winning the point. It's on his terms, correct?
Yeah, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of the points he's losing, he made the mistakes. Mm-hmm. They weren't forced errors. They're kind of balls he should make. A couple serves. Sasikumar's done a good job serving.
That's been his big weapon here today.
Yep.
That ability to go big down the tee. Both these guys dripping with sweat already.
Yeah, the sun is back out, and it is hot and humid right now.
I was talking about you and me, not them. Both these guys in the booth dripping with sweat.
I should have known.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
I call him Ernest Del Gulbis after he hits that forehand. Del Potro-esque power just slapping through that ball. And then the touch as well. Some creativity from Ernests Gulbis here. 30 all now, and of course, we all know what makes the difference between the best players and everyone else in the world. It's how they handle the mental side of the game. Sasikumar had so many chances in that last Gulbis service game. Now finds himself a little bit of scoreboard trouble here, 30 all.
Ooh, nice overhead.
He's disinvited from our overhead clinic. That's too good.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones back there in the right around the baseline.
Yeah, lets it bounce. Probably has to do with that sunshine overhead.
Game point here for Sasikumar. Redrop. Oh, you got it. Wow, what a gift.
Really good stuff there from Ernests Gulbis. He feels the moment. Now deuce here. And again, when they talk about Ernests Gulbis, the obvious comparison is Gael Monfils with that quickness. First step, he's all over the net. I see the smile.
Yeah, there's one heck of a gap. We like that.
Got to talk a little smack with these players here. It really makes this EXO event the fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great
though,
response.
from Sasikumar. Nothing you can do there, right?
No.
Heavy pace. Out wide. Game point here for him.
Too good.
It's good serving.
Yep.
From Mukund Sasikumar.
It's been solid on his service games.
Yeah, just putting first serves in play, which is what you have to do when you're at a power deficit against your opponent. Now, Sasikumar's had breakpoint chances in each of his games, each of Ernests Gulbis' service games, thus far. There's only been 2, but he has had multiple chances. He's yet to convert. Will he be able to do so? He's been ungripping, regripping his racket. That speaks to these conditions. Hutch, brutally hot and humid right now here in beautiful Reading, PA.
Yeah, we're just thrilled that it's not raining right now.
No doubt about that.
What we've got here is you got Gulbis under some pressure. He knows if he doesn't hold, he loses the set. So it's interesting, and he's had to come up with some really good second serves to hold, and he's been down twice at 40-15. So he's going to feel some pressure over there. He better get some first serves in, otherwise Sasikumar is going to be attacking that second serve. Really interesting game coming up. And Gulbis has been missing that serve. It's been on the top of the net. He started a couple days ago in doubles. But then he had really solid serving in his singles matches up to this point.
Yeah.
And of course here, pressure comes into play. And pressure can do some different things to you.
Of course, according to Billie Jean King, pressure is a privilege.
I like that.
I've been reading the New York Times reviews of her book, or the new book, The Call to Activism. I'm looking to my left. Seeing a few droplets. I'm feeling the wind pick up. We should be able to sneak in at least one set of tennis here. Looking at the radar, the storms are coming, Hutch. Still, it certainly feels nice now. A little breeze here.
Breeze feels nice.
As Ernests Gulbis is going to serve. Meanwhile, Naomi Osaka drops her first set back to Coco Gauff. We had the Gauff discussion yesterday. 6-4 Gauff takes that.
Wow.
Brutal first match back for Osaka, but
Wins Gulbis is back. That's going to help him serving here.
So I want you to know that on that exchange, here's exactly what happened. Sasikumar misses the shot in the net, hits his head with his racket, turns to Coach Martin. Martin shakes his head up and says, "Yep, that's right. You should hit your head. That was a dumb miss." Love their relationship too. Very different personalities.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Coach Martin's a cool dude.
Extroverted, to say the least.
Yeah, and probably a wonderful coach.
Mukund, more of a one-liner designer. When he drops that one line, it's very, very witty. Nope.
Just a little deep. That's the pressure that Gulbis has been feeling on his service games.
So now again, 15 all, excuse me.
15 all yet. And almost every game he's had a double fault. So he's given away a little bit every game. Eventually you can't afford to do that.
No doubt.
There he goes, and that's been his miss. His miss has been right on top of that net. Ooh, that was close. That was real close too.
Ooh.
Both of those must have hit the line.
Ooh. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He knows it too.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Did everything right in that point
Yes, he
except the high backhand volley did
Yeah.
Mukund Sasikumar. Unfortunately for him, when you're playing someone to the quality of Ernests Gulbis, everything's got to be good. So brilliant point from Sasikumar still. Ernests Gulbis now 30-15 here in his 2-3 service game.
And that was a tough point for both of them. Physically, that was a tough point. I mean, they're both breathing heavily.
We were supposed to play 2 out of 3 sets in this final, Hutch.
That's not happening.
No. Would have been, as we say in my culture, nishkit. Not good.
Big serve.
40-15.
Out wide power, 2 flat out wide. Not an easy serve in the toolbox to own for Ernests Gulbis now.
Yeah, a couple points to get us to a breaker in this first set.
See if he can do it. That feels fitting, by the way.
It
Fast
does.
4,
Yeah, I
first set,
I agree with you.
championship match. Most hyped match since probably that 2019 Wimbledon final, Federer Djokovic. Everyone's talking about it.
It's close. Oh, it's close between this one and that
We
one.
don't like to make choices here. Everyone's a winner on our Cracked Rackets channel, Hutch. But ace out wide for Ernests Gulbis. Not quite the 13,000 of John Isner and Ivo Karlovic, but certainly working his numbers up here today. He holds, sends us to a breaker, 3-all set number 1. Quick reminder, these tiebreakers played to 7, win by 2. Switching sides every 6 points.
Better service game there for Gulbis. He's got to feel pretty good about his serve.
It's his best service game of the match.
Yeah, yeah.
Loves that out wide.
Oh, wow.
That was a poor miss.
Yeah.
And I will say, I think there's very much a world where Ernests Gulbis loses this first set and we see perhaps a more lopsided second set go the way of Sasikumar. On the flip side, should Ernests Gulbis win this set in a breaker, I'm almost positive we go 3 in that scenario.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, it's, in fairness, Gulbis asked me to talk trash about him before, and he said, please, Alex, the more the merrier. It's a true story.
That's a huge serve.
Yeah, it's money. And of course, again, some breaking news over these past 30 minutes. The USTA announcing both the main draw and qualifying wildcards for the 2021 US Open. We will get to those wildcards after this set, but in the meantime, 1-all, third set breaker, Gulbis serving, deuce side, far side of your screen. Yeah, that was just...
Yep. One too many of those little droppers. Cost him.
That's poor.
Yeah.
Poor execution, poor choice. That wasn't even a good choice, bad execution. That was bad choice, worse execution.
And in his bio, that's written in there.
It's actually the quote. You know how like some people at the bottom of their email things, it's like Alex Gruskin, editor-in-chief, Cracked Rackets. It says Ernests Gulbis, former top 10 pro, bad choice, worse execution.
Any break here, Sasikumar. Oh, that was it right on the line.
Oh, that's nice. See, but then he goes and does that.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Point penalty, Sasikumar. Default match. Oh, a little bit of a shank there.
Right back on serve.
2-all here in our first set breaker. Again, we're playing 2-7, win by 2, despite the fast 4 format here in these breakers. I thought that was flat.
Yep. I think he said, darn it. wind swirling around right now.
Yeah, it's
Just dropped about another 5 or 10 degrees here pretty quickly.
that's a nice bowl. No doubt about that. We're on serve here. 2-3. No. Not to use this term again, but brain fart. That one just a little much from Ernests Gulbis.
Yeah, rally ball I should have had in play.
Yeah. So mini break back to Sasikumar. 4-2. He leads at our first turn.
You don't see Gulbis getting to the net very much here at all. Actually, neither one of them.
No, it's been quicker rallies too. I think we've only seen one rally really go over 10 shots. A couple of 5 to 7ers in there in the mix, but a lot of Craig O'Shaughnessy first ball +1 tennis thus far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And interesting for Sasikumar, not a power player, but he's going for his shots. You probably have to against Gulbis before he hurts you with something.
I don't know why I've branded +1 tennis Craig O'Shaughnessy tennis. It's like when you think Craig O'Shaughnessy, you don't think big serve, big forehand. You just think big numbers. And yet he is the +1 guy.
Yeah, he is a serve +1 guy.
Yeah.
I think he came up with the serve
The
+1,
terminology, then the numbers
I
behind
think
it.
he is the guy that came up with that terminology.
All right, we can call him the +1 guy then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is it? It's like 70%, 60 to 70 decided in the first 4 shots.
Over 70, I believe.
Over 70. Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge number.
Yeah.
And all proven out by stats. You
Yeah.
give me all the stats.
I
It's
know.
incredible stuff.
Tennis is an eye test sport, but the numbers make it all real.
Somebody in the net.
Oh. He heard you call for it. Yeah. Good move. Again, he had the open court just a little too cute there from Ernests Gulbis. Now 5-2 for Sasikumar.
Another. Oh, great pickup. Whew.
So Gulbis gets one of them back.
Mhm.
Still down a mini break though. Meanwhile, Sasikumar made a final earlier this year in Egypt, the 15K. He's 14-19 in his last 52. So again, from a confidence standpoint, it'll be a very good week for him. I believe you were telling me he won what, a 15K or some sort of UTR type event leading up to this.
Aronimec.
Yeah, that's what it's
Aronimec out of Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yep. Just won that on Saturday. Thanks. Well on the net.
Looks at his wife. Super, super lovely to us here all week long. Here with his daughter as well, oldest of his 2 kids. I believe his youngest son back at home. Currently, didn't bring him on the trip.
That one's going to sail.
That's
It's
the
gonna be
first
it.
set
Yep.
for Mukund Sasikumar. Gulbis sending the ball out to the ball kids as we get a ball change here. But Mukund Sasikumar now 1 set away from sweeping the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. That'd be the first time for that, Hutch. Obviously would be a super, super cool thing. But while we have a moment right now, I want to do something that we've alluded to throughout the day. We have our U.S. Open wildcard recipients. And if we can, Westoff, let's start as always. I was raised well with the ladies first. You look at, here are the 7 names. Now, ultimately, the U.S. Open did end up giving a reciprocal wildcard to Australia, Tennis Australia. The USTA have had a long-standing relationship trying to get one of their players into that big Grand Slam. Again, that's what the big federations do. I'm anti-monopoly in general, but I get it, Hutch. Point being, here are your 7 names. You tell me what you think. We'll start with the guarantees. Ashlyn Kruger, your San Diego Girls 18s champion. Girls 18s champion, always going to get a wild card into the main draw. She does so as well. If you haven't seen her play, high variance player. When it's good, oh boy, is it good. When it's not good, Oh boy. We'll just leave that there. But she's lock number 1. Lock number 2, Emma Navarro, your NCAA champion out of the University of Virginia. Again, whenever you get an American NCAA champ, think along the lines Mallory Burdett back in the day. Think Danielle Collins, 2-time champ.
Okay.
Emma Navarro going to join the list. You've also got a couple of youngsters. Katie Vollinets, former San Diego champion, currently training out of San Jose with Jensen Brooksby, Joe Gilbert. That crew rising towards that top 200 career high ranking. She gets a main draw wild card. Katie McNally, standout out of Cincinnati or Cleveland, is out of the Ohio area. She gets a main draw wild card. She's top 150 already, so you can understand that one. Haley Baptiste, another talented youngster out of Washington, D.C., gets one. And then 2 names that'll be familiar. 2 tennis fans will start. Coco Vandeweghe, of course, working her way back from health. She gets a main draw wild card. No doubt, if healthy, she would be top 100. So that's your other. That's number 6. Name number 7, and I think this was the obvious prediction. We all knew if she needed one, she was going to get it. But Venus Williams is your 7th wild card recipient. So again, Kruger, Navarro, Baptiste, McNally, Vollinets, Vandeweghe, Williams. Thoughts on the women's, Hutch?
Well, Venus deserves it.
Of course.
Vandeweghe's been playing pretty good after she came back from a little bit of an injury, although she did have some interesting stuff happening to her in Hempfield this week.
Yeah, I saw the warm-up, right? Where it was a little
Yes.
heat fatigue or whatever it may be.
Whatever. That's a good thing. Yeah, whatever it was.
And if we can, super producer Westhoff, we're going to save the men's wild cards. We'll save them. Oh, no. Ernest looks like he's chilling. Let's quickly pop up the men's wild cards.
Yeah, interesting to hear
Now
this.
on the screen as well. Now, we had 4 locks, and I bet my house. I bet every future dollar I'm ever going to earn. I bet it all on these 4 names. Now, of course, the guarantees: Zach Svida, your Kalamazoo Boys 18s champion; Sam Riffis out of the University of Florida, your American NCAA champion. You were right. Jack Sock puts butts in the seats. He's your 3rd wild card recipient. You also could have guaranteed that Jensen Brooksby, Brendan Nakashima, the hottest thing in American men's tennis right now. 2 of the hottest things. Nakashima going back-to-back finals, Los Cabos and Atlanta. Brooksby final in Newport, semifinal at the City Open. They get wild cards as expected. The other 3 names, though. Former Junior Australian Open, I want to say finalist, maybe champ, in Emilio Nava. You also get your last name. I mentioned Jack Sock already. Your last name, Ernesto Escobedo. Hard-hitting 25-year-old out of California, working his way back from injury. Those are your 7 names, Hutch, as we see Gulbis serve first here to kick off set number 2. What do you think about the men's side?
Not bad. I didn't see Chris Eubank's name.
No, I'm angry with myself. I used logic in trying to figure out the wild cards. I should have remembered there's no logic in wild card selections.
Well, and it could have been that he didn't make our semifinals here either.
Yeah.
That could have been the deciding factor.
They heard the tiebreaker. They were like, he's +4. What's Nava? Nava, UTR, Elos would be +4.5. All right, Nava.
Yeah. No one ever knows how they do these things, but, Jack Sock seemed to be a shoo-in.
Yeah, I think that one we get.
Yeah. And the others, I guess, almost like a pick out of the hat.
Yeah, guys like Bjorn Fratangelo, Mitchell Kruger, I don't want to say they were more worthy because it's a wild card. And ultimately, you're the tournament. Do what you got to do. And I get Nava, former junior, top junior in the world, rising young talent. I know the USTA is sometimes more likely to give me a wild card than Mitchell Kruger. But Mitch has won a challenger. Bjorn's won a challenger. Chris has won a challenger. I know they're going to get into qualifying, but I don't know. I would have liked to see just a little bit of extra for them.
Yeah, I mean, weird decision made all the time, and there's no way you can rationalize them.
Yeah.
I guess you just have to deal with it.
No, I love Ernesto. Again, you're not going to find bigger Ernesto Escobedo fans. Go check the tape. That's what I always go check the tape, and you'll find out the answer. But no, again, it's strange, and we'll go through the qualifying wildcards a little bit later as we zone back in on this match. But again, your 7 men's and women's picks: Baptiste, Kruger, McNally, Navarro, Vandeweghe, Vollinets, Williams, Venus variety for the women, and then Brooksby, Escobedo, Nakashima, Nava, Riffis, Sock, Spider-Man for the men.
Now, my question for you, Kudla, where does he fall in this? He was actually supposed to be here, got a little injured. Actually, Frantangelo, we thought we might have here. I think he might have been injured also.
Mm-hmm.
Second serve. Second serve. Late. I saw the ball long. Second serve.
Okay.
A little testy in there.
Nah, it's Gulbis gonna Gulbis.
Yep, that's true.
No, missed it a little long. Still, that's why you build a 40-15 lead here now. 40-30.
So is Kudla into qualifying? Is that where he goes?
Kudla into the main draw
Main draw.
after Kyle Edmund
Someone withdrew?
pulled out. Yeah, Kyle Edmund pulled out, so Kudla got in. So he and Mackey no longer. Mackey got the Federer spot.
Okay.
Kudla got the Edmund spot.
Oh, good for him.
It's not trying to be rude, by the way. I guess technically they've just got the open spot, but I like to think Mackey took Rogers specifically. And then for Dennis, they're like, here's Kyle's.
Oh, boy.
I think we're going to have north of 20 Americans in the main draw, Hutch. I think we're going to hit like 21, 22 in the men's side. Of course, the women's side, the depth in women's tennis just in general right now, but on the American side in particular, whether it's, obviously the tail end of Serena and Venus. We've got players like Collins, Keys, Pegula, Brady, all smack dab in the prime of their careers. And then, of course, haven't even gotten to the youngsters, the Goffs, the Anissimovas of the world, the Sonia Kennan, who's already won a Grand Slam title. I can name them all if you'd like. Anna Lee, the ghost of Cece Bellis.
Overhit on that one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one might go pretty quickly if Gulbis loses this.
No doubt about that.
He's overhit the last two, just going for a little too much. Overhit that one too.
That's a little bit long. Sasikumar takes the early break lead. Is that the one he needs? Mentioned it during the tiebreak. It felt like that was a much more important tiebreaker for Gulbis than it was Sasikumar. Just in this heat.
Yeah,
match number 5.
Yeah, but well called.
Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every so often, Hutch. So we see here now.
Yeah, Gulbis giving him a glare as he walks by.
Not me. Oh, no, Sasikumar. Okay. I'm just always a little worried. I know it's always about my world. You're just living in it. But no, that's, again, it's a competition. We'll see. We'll see how much does Gulbis have left in the tank. Certainly, you're competing, getting ready for U.S. Open qualies. You're going to face some adversity at some point.
That's right, yeah. You're going to have to come back sometimes at some point. Can you dig down deep and do it, or going to be a loser?
We'll find out here. Sasikumar setting a break lead in our championship match. Oh, yeah. He's going big now. Again. In this fast 4 format, played the 4 breaker at 3 all. That first break just so much more valuable.
Oh, yeah, now he's just swinging wildly at him. Could be quick.
No, could be a quick one indeed. And again, rainstorms on the horizon here. Thus, the quick succession of these matches. These players also headed to New York in some cases, Florida. Winston-Salem and others. Training blocks pre-U.S. Open. Gulbis, one of those heading straight from here to New York.
Missed it again.
And just
That was
physically,
quick.
he's looking a little ginger right now. We'll see here. Sasikumar now consolidates the break. 4-3-2
Get some
love.
balls down here for him.
Head him over this way.
Too big.
Oh.
That was a beautiful return. The old science teacher. It looks a little orange in the sky over there.
Oh, no.
The orange is rain.
Okay.
If you see that color, that's rain.
Are we doing fun facts with Hutch sessions? Why did you not tell me you were a science teacher? What, you know, how are your powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondria, working today? That's all I retained from biology. So
I believe mine are functioning fairly well.
mine are at half speed. Okay, you're a science teacher. This is a completely random note.
Oh, jeez.
My dad puts batteries in the refrigerator because I'm pretty sure there was like a 1970s ad campaign saying that's what you're supposed to do. True or false? That helps it sustain power.
Abstain.
So you're unclear? Unclear?
Yet a lot of old people used to do that.
Yeah, he's old. Let me tell you, when I'm talking about Michael Gruskin, I'm talking about an old man.
I remember a lot of people. No young person does that.
I do, because I don't know any better. I call my dad. I call him post-prime Greg Maddox. Still hits the strike zone, but it's just, doesn't hit 93, 94 too often anymore. Always at that 88.
Yeah,
He can do it when he needs to,
interesting.
but
My serve out, but I cannot hold in.
I believe in you. Commentary from Gulbis. Controls his serve well. He's right. It's the rest of the game that's lagging behind today.
Yeah, he's just kind of flailing at winners right now, or losers. Looks like he wants to get the match over quickly.
It's
One way
one
or
of
the
those
other.
win or lose, we still booze sort of days.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to see many long rallies.
Oh. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
nice shot. Then he comes up with that.
Like I said, I believe in you, Ernest Gulbis.
He had to work on that one.
You can hit a backhand slice approach shot like that. You have my affection. Doesn't take much.
You had no idea what you said.
Yeah, it's in the zone. That's good. It's good.
Just dusted you right off.
Again, not even a Al Kaline hit 500.
Yeah, huge.
Saw that 30 all. He's like, I'm too close to winning the game. But he goes big there with the forehand. Again, it's match number 5. Can understand why. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit better there. He didn't hit that one on Mach 5.
I mean, it's just routine. Routine, right? That's the word. And I think for him, that's why he's here this week, right? To find those routines, find that rhythm heading into New York.
And swinging away probably isn't a bad thing for him.
No, not at all.
Eventually, he's going to need to make those.
Yeah.
And you can't make them unless you practice.
But eventually, not right now. He sees the orange in the horizon. He's like, it's actually a really good fact.
I like that.
How did that backhand drop in?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sasikumar, sneaky good feel.
Yeah, he's really better on defense than I thought he might be. He squares up his racket incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's absolutely drenched on the other side. Break point.
Nope. Great serving from Gulbis once again to fight off that break point. And again, even if he loses this match, this is the sort of game you're going to have to play 4 or 5 of if you want to qualify for the U.S. Open.
Yeah. And you're going to have to have big winners.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to play defense. You have to do all the above.
Advantage. Sasikumar.
Flushing news. Bobby Hurkacz knocks out Andy Murray in Cincinnati. Straight set victory.
Didn't Murray beat somebody pretty good the first round?
Gasquet.
Yeah.
Gasquet was really good.
Yeah.
Now he's just good.
Uh-oh.
There's the double fault.
Yeah, in the game.
And again, for Ernests Gulbis, gingerly walking now on the changeover. Left his towel behind.
Yeah, you called
In
it,
the
you
chair
called it
as
well on
well.
how quickly this might go.
It's very kind of you.
If Sasikumar won the first set, I mean, you absolutely called it.
Mm-hmm. Again, squirrel blind.
No,
Acorn Alex.
really good call knowing that he wanted to get to New York.
Yeah, exactly. That's a long commute. There's no denying it. It's trying to beat rush hour. But again, as we sit here now, 4-3 love. Let's talk about Mukund Sasikumar just for a hot second, because undefeated here this week, wins the doubles event. I was looking it up earlier. He does have a career high inside the top 250. Look for Sasikumar. He reached a career high of 229 on October 7th of 2019. Had very few points to defend to start the 2020 season. Then had the pandemic hit. And of course, the lack of playing opportunities. Then all of a sudden, you have a ton of points to defend. You also don't have that many opportunities to gain in the rankings because of all the different rankings protections. I'm curious what you thought of his game, where he goes from here. Still only 24 years old. Seems to come pretty easy to him. Nothing says, even the pace of a Smith or here a Gulbis. He seemed to have adjusted really well throughout the course of these matches.
Yeah, he absorbs the pace pretty nicely. If he can, yeah, that one looked a little wide to me too. I'm not so sure that he has enough offensive weapons to make a real dent in some of the better players. Defense is awesome, smooth, all the shots. Are the shots big enough? Yeah, it's a nice get.
Let's say big.
There aren't many counter punchers
Mm-hmm.
that I can think of that are, have been stalwarts in the top 10, top 20. A couple,
Mm-hmm.
but not many. Most of them are big offensive players.
No, you have that one weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's not with your racket, it's your speed or
Yeah.
just, again, something you do at an elite level. And I think for Sasikumar, does a lot of things really, really well.
Yeah.
Top 100 in the future, very much possible.
Yeah. What would you call his weapon?
That's the question. Maybe his brain. I mean, I know that's a cop-out answer, but just
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes consistency, when people say, oh, that's his biggest, he doesn't have a weapon, he's just consistent. I think that's a little passive-aggressively rude. And I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm saying, consistency is a weapon, because as we've learned here, to be able to focus for an hour and a half, 2-hour stretches, and just not see a dip in your level, that's the separation. And what I've liked so much about Sasikumar is whenever he's dipped, there's been an immediate follow-up to the peak.
Yeah, good coming behind player, and when he can serve and hit those spots, that's great.
And maybe it's the serve.
Consistency. O'Shaughnessy his hair would go up because he proves that that's not
Really?
what should be anybody's weapon.
So he's got a big theory.
Yeah, because all points are won between 1 and 4, 70%. He said consistency doesn't really matter.
But I guess it's consistency of effort more than anything
Okay,
else.
yeah. Well,
It's not just the fact that he makes balls. It's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he's constantly thinking and adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. That's a very good point. You know what we also like? Mukund Sasikumar's performance here in Pennsylvania now, 40-15. Can we clap? Are we clapping? We're not clapping?
I wouldn't yell. I think
if they
Gulbis
lose-
might come over
Yeah.
and hit you. Come over and just get you before the match
They
ends.
hit the in shift point here. Yeah. Come on now. Ball definitely a little bit long, but still match point here. You see the phones are out.
That's all.
There it is.
Yep.
Mukund Sasikumar sweeping the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Champion, winning the doubles on Monday, then wins today over Royce Smith, now Ernests Gulbis. He earns the title, earns a nice little cash bonus on the side, but more importantly, the right to be named the 2021 Lotto Elite of the Elite. He is your Mrs. Emke Chocolate Chip Cookie Player of the Week. He's won all of the awards. Hutch, so impressed by the 24-year-old from India.
Yeah, he played great doubles starting out. I actually probably should have lost both doubles matches. He came from behind in both of them and won them.
Mm-hmm.
He came from behind in a couple matches here, Smith's match,
Yeah.
and didn't really come from behind the first set here. Did a real good job in the super breaker, and he was just very steady in the second set. And Gulbis was overhitting a little bit, it looked like to me.
Absolutely. But that will do it for our Lotto Elite event. I'm going to give you the final word as we see the trophies coming out, the tables coming out. Any final thoughts from this one? Any final takeaways you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, yeah, I'd actually like to thank Crack Racquets for bringing you guys here, and so I can enjoy even more the broadcast and bringing the play-by-play to you. And we really appreciate all the sponsors and the staff members and the players coming, and Emke's obviously having us in their beautiful backyard. It's been a wonderful couple days. We've got wonderful players, wonderful champ. I mean, he's an absolute class act, as is his coach, Martin. So, we're proud of the champion out here, and we're proud that we put on a nice, love-filled Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge.
Absolutely, and that's the atmosphere Hutch and I were trying to create here on the broadcast. I think you all have learned of my affinity for my Hershey Kiss here on the left, but more than anything else, Hutch, of course, thank you for having our Crack Racquets team. And yeah, just to get to do this sort of event, still amidst a pandemic. I know things are wrapping up, depends where you are, what you're doing, but we just haven't gotten to do a lot of this over the past year and a half. So to get to see some incredible tennis in person, to get to, as you mentioned, hang out here at Emke Tennis Stadium, a huge, we're talking Ernests Gulbis when he's clicking serve. Huge thank you to the Emke family, to all of our sponsors, tournament director Ryan as well, everyone here as well. Super producer Daniel Westoff on the ones and twos. He's gone indoors, outdoors. Yeah, the best in the business. We love you, Westoff. But with all of that said, for Don Hutchinson, for super producer Daniel Westoff, and from all of us here in Reading, Pennsylvania, I'm Alex Gruskin. You have been watching the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge.